Welcome back to Occupy the Media. This is a call-in show, and therefore we can't do it without you. How has the Occupy movement changed your daily conversations? Weigh in by dialing 877-575-FSTV. Again, that's 877-575-3788. The lines are open. Our next story takes us to Atlanta, where Occupy Atlanta is taking on Chase Bank. So, Marcy, this has to do with Take Back the Block. This is the organization.
Yeah, Take Back the Block worked with Occupy Atlanta to shut down five bank locations, five Chase Bank locations. They were protesting the foreclosure of this woman, Eloise Pittman. She'd signed a ridiculous, interest predatory loan for her home and was about to lose it.
So, going back to foreclosures, and you actually had a chance to talk to Sophia Lipko with Occupy Atlanta, so let's watch.
Sophia, thanks so much for joining us today. Start us off by talking a little bit about the woman whose home was nearly foreclosed on and how she became the catalyst for this action that Occupy Atlanta took part in.
Eloise Pittman is the woman that recently died in November, that fought for a long time to pay her bills with a predatory loan that was just outrageous with the interest rate and how much the principal was. I think her story is very compelling, and it compelled many of us to go there and stay there, even though we're also willing to stay at people's homes and protect her from eviction without having such compelling stories. She recently died in November, as I said, from pancreatic cancer, but also the stress of not being able to pay her bills.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the action itself. You were among a group of other Occupy Atlanta protesters and folks with Take Back the Land who shut down five Chase Bank locations nearly around the same time. Talk a little bit about the organization behind that and what happened that day.
It's actually Take Back the Block. We had about 40 people who, in different teams, shut down five Chase branches. For different periods of time. That we also had 14 arrests come out of that, but we definitely caused a certain amount of alarm alarm for Chase Bank and all their CEOs and middle management. Definitely the biggest thing that's happened in Atlanta in a long time, where lots of really committed young people shut down banks because we cannot let them have business as usual while people are homeless.
Now, talk a little bit about the issue of foreclosure in Atlanta. Foreclosure is a big issue among all of the different occupies. How does it look like in your specific community?
I mean, evictions, foreclosures, empty homes are a huge problem in Atlanta, in Georgia, in the nation. We are not unique in this at all, nor is Eloise Pittman unique in her struggles. It's littered with empty homes and so many homeless people. And the banks still have not curtailed their awful practices. Housing is a real issue for many of us, especially working class people, including mostly affecting a lot of women, Black women.
That was Sophia Lipko with Occupy Atlanta. And Marcy, foreclosures has been an issue that Occupy groups across the country have had a lot of success with, not just there in Atlanta.
They've had a day, to take back foreclosed homes. It's one of the critical issues that they've been working on, and they continue to do so, and seemingly will continue to do so in the future. Okay,
I want to get your take, Don, on this, but hold on. You're watching Occupy the Media, and now it's time to take some more calls from the 99%. Mic check. Mic check. Okay, we have a caller on the line, Bethany from New York. You're on Occupy the Media.
Oh, hello. I'm actually going back quickly to the Hunger Games conversation.
Definitely.
And I just wanted to mention that an article that you had cited, or that your guest had cited, had mentioned that Katniss is the hero that Occupy is hoping for. But I actually think that the books, in particular the second book, really show that Katniss is not a necessary hero, that all of the layers of collective action and the organization have been established, and while she might be the catalyst, and while actually the evil president even pushes this image of her as a hero so that her failures can define the whole movement and sort of undercut the actual community aspect of it. The books themselves go to show that people are organizing, people are acting, and it's because of the strength of the larger group and not because of just one person that they succeed ultimately.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for your call, Bethany, because that is interesting, because even in the book as it lays it out, Katniss isn't the leader of the protest movement. She doesn't go and do all these things by herself. She actually serves as sort of the spark that others rally around, maybe in some of the same ways that early on in Occupy Wall Street, the arrests and some of the other things that spontaneously sparked all these other groups to form their own Occupies. We have another call on the line. Cindy from Ohio. You're on Occupy the Media. Hi, Cindy. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi, do you have a question or comment for us? You're on Occupy the Media.
Thank you. Yes, I do. I'm calling from Cleveland, and we have a Democratic mayor and a Republican governor in Ohio. They're both working together to privatize public education, abolish teachers' unions, and collective bargaining. The Democratic Party is no more a friend to working people than the Republican Party. 44 years ago today, Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis in part because he stood up for working people, sanitation workers who wanted a living wage and benefits. I don't understand what's happening to labor today. I'm wondering who can labor look to, and what are the successful strategies that people are using outside of looking to the major political parties, which have...
Okay, well, great. Cindy, that's a great question. I want to throw out to Don quickly. What can labor do?
Well, I think labor can learn a lot from the Occupy movement, and labor has, in fact, supported the Occupy movement with logistical support, with some monetary support. They have also mobilized their members to take to the streets in places like New York and Wisconsin. So I hope that as we move into the spring, we're going to see a closer alliance being forged between organized labor and the Occupy movement.
And it's an ongoing battle, and one that we'll certainly continue to cover. We asked our Facebook and Twitter followers what they thought about Occupy Atlanta teaming up with anti-foreclosure activists to shut down banks in Georgia. Here's what some of you posted. James writes, "Our occupation is occupying homes that are about to be foreclosed on." Adam writes, "Bank branches don't manage foreclosures. Occupiers are just hurting the people who have their money there." Ashley says, "Our occupation has been passing out flyers with information about foreclosure. We need to inform the people." Well, that's all the time we have this week. As a reminder, Free Speech TV does not take funding from corporations. So if you like what we're doing here at Occupy the Media, we could really use your support. Help us continue our mission and become a member at freespeech.org. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for Occupy the Media.